Mr. Nnaji, do you think that at the end of the day, because initially when this kind of conversation started, as you had highlighted, some governors said, I think the president and vice also said, we're slashing our salaries by half.
It makes no meaning to me.
And then some governors also said, fixing my salary. But we also heard some say, well, I'm bringing, is it 4 billion out of my security votes to do certain things? Are we ever going to get to that point where public officials in the executive, both at the federal and state and legislature, actually do say, well, we have a challenge. The people want us to reduce not just salaries now, but our income. Will we ever get to that point?
In law, we say, sumoto. On their own, it cannot happen. Because even a child, when milk has entered the mouth of a child, the breast of the mom, if you remove it, the child will do what? Cry, which is the only weapon it has at that moment to embarrass you. The next neighbor will say they are not looking after. He doesn't know that that is working, but instinctively, that's what God has imbued in children to protect them from the ravages of the adults around. The same manner, the people who are profiting from the current order will not allow it to change. Change is constant, but you can manage it to delay it.
What if the governor surprises me and say, okay, well...
Which governors?
For instance, if any
Is it as an association or as a governor?
No, let's look at this. No, but you know, they've said that the Cardinal governor did not release his security votes, that what he published was the expenditure of his security. What if he responds and says, well, if you think that that's not okay, well, let me do something else. Let me, as you highlighted, the income. If he comes up with something that can be referred to as income, as you described, won't that start the kind of change you require?
Well, if it's a conditional statement, I don't see anybody at the corridors of power today that will publish his or her income.
Dare them.
They will be very quick. You see, for example, the demand to publish security vote or expenditure may not even be a fair demand, because there are certain intricate security issues that may not be publishable in the interest of peace. I take this. Either the person in the authority has done some mayhem using money to kill or blackmail or hold down a set of people, he cannot publish it.
But the government publishes security expenditure.
Let me finish, I beg. The issue is that they, in the positive sense again, there may have been information that Boko Haram or insurgents want to come in, and somebody brought a credible information that helped the governor to take some proactive measures and then spend money to do that. This is not in the public, view, at the purview of the public, but nevertheless, life goes on seamlessly. He doesn't have to come to TV and say, I did this, because that can still happen again. And you do not want to foreclose the prospect of somebody coming to give you. So there are a lot of things involved that you may not need. That was the essence of the thinking.
Yeah, but
that have been abused and bastardized by people who do not have any bearing.
But if he's gone ahead and says, this is how I've spent security votes, what makes us think that?
How do you confirm that? Okay, let me give you an example. There was a time, there's a company, I'm in retainership. One of the managers was asked to retire his expenses. He saw there was a huge amount he could not explain, but that money had been spent. He put man no be wood. Huh? Yes. It's an expatriate company. Then he put man no be wood.
And what does that mean?
And put the entire amount there. You said you want the money to be retired. This is where it went. Then on the investigation, they found that he used the money for socials and other things that may not have advanced the course of the company's business. But nevertheless, you asked him to account. There is the money. So if you see, for example, that CCTV was 1.3 billion, have you gone further? Can you go further to query anything about it? You have seen it. If you go to the streets of Kaduna, wherever it is said to be spent, well, if it is there, maybe 1 or 2, 3. What is the size of Kaduna? You do a comparison. These are the issues. There's nobody that can easily. The whole thing is that Caesar's wife should be beyond reproach and suspicion. When you get to the level of a governor or president, you should be credible. You should be imbued with heightened integrity, not even just integrity. It should be so manifestly transparent that, in the words of Plato, in his Plato's Republic, the king, the philosopher king, has no constituency. The entire people, the entire polity is his constituency. That's why in those days he recommended he should not have a family. Because when you have a family, your loyalty goes immediately to school fees of my children, my wife's uncle, this and that and that. Before you finish it, you fritter away the state money. So the point we are saying is that those people who must aspire to governance and leadership position, public leadership position, if you have a business, that's your business. When you come to the public space, you must first show knowledge. Give yourself knowledge, educate yourself, enlighten yourself thoroughly. That will help you to understand what is good and what is bad. Okay, well, and then you come with integrity.
That's where we have to anchor. Mr. Chima Nnaji is a legal practitioner and a good governance advocate. Thank you for coming on today.
My pleasure.
We'll be back and focus on one more item here today. Don't go away.